Hello, and welcome back to the Misty Morrison podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 58 of Was I in the Wrong? Here on the Misty Morrison podcast, we love to judge, we love to give advice, we love to help people look back at their situations with that 2020 vision to see how they could have handled the situation more gracefully. Before we get into our stories for the day, our usual housekeeping, whether you are new or returning, please remember to engage with the content to help the channel grow. Every bit of engagement can help. If you are listening on podcast, please leave a 5-star review if you liked it. If you are on YouTube or socials, please like the video, subscribe for more, share it with a friend, give it a thumbs up, comment with your thoughts on the stories down below. I love reading your comments and your thoughts, all the things. Okay, into our stories for the day. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/WIBTA_AITA. Would I be the asshole if I changed the password to my streaming service? My ex-best friend, female 24, and I, female 22, used to hang out a lot, and because we were besties, I gave her the password to my Disney Plus. Now we both have some mental health issues, but unlike her, I'm going to therapy and working on them, while she just complained, never changed anything, and tried to drag me down with her, if you will. We both have an ED, and while I struggled to recover, she did nothing but justify it, and spending time with her got really exhausting. So I distanced myself from her. Now we haven't spoken in months, but she still uses my Disney Plus. I'm uncomfortable with that now, especially since I realized we only had a one-sided friendship. She made everything about her, called me crying to come pick her up, but was always busy when I reached out, etc. But we didn't have a big falling out or anything, and we just aren't talking anymore. So would I be the asshole if I changed the password? No. Of course not. I mean, it is your service. You are paying for it. You didn't owe it to her to start with. She clearly doesn't deserve it. If I would have thought about it like the day you guys quit talking, I would have changed the password then. No, you're right. Update. Thank you all for your kind messages. It gave me the courage to change the password and feel good about my decision. I hope you all have a lovely day. Very good. We love to see people protecting themselves from the negativity. Story number 2 is coming to us from r/AITAH. AITAH for not wanting to talk to my ex. Probably not. When I was a senior in high school, I had been with my ex, let's call him M, to give him a name right. I had been with him for 6 months, and he cut it off on the exact day after I gave him the little handmade gift I made for him. It had been just a simple paper rose bouquet because all my money was going to pay my stepmother rent at the time. Anyways, he cut off the relationship on the exact day of the 6th month together, saying that I wasn't giving him enough attention, when just the week before he'd asked for a bit of space. For context, I don't do good with words of affection. I show affection with gifts and actions instead. So I backed off a bit, and he broke up with me for not giving him enough attention. The problem is we were all friends with the same people, and now I'm getting cut off by the friend group for not wanting to talk to him. But I genuinely can't talk to him without wanting to sob because I truly loved him. I don't know if it's the rejection of my love and the situation with my family, but I'm being called a terrible person because I'm breaking up the friend group by not talking to him anymore. Okay. That took a different turn than what I was expecting, but no, you're not the asshole for not wanting to talk to your ex. I'm going to call it a mess just because when everyone is part of the same friend group, it does make a breakup a really messy situation. You're not wrong for not wanting to talk to him, especially the way you really felt blindsided by the breakup. And it could just be a mismatch in communication styles and a mismatch in love languages, because he's like, I need space, but you show your love with gifts and actions, not through words of affirmation. Like, I'm so curious because you said he needs space if you were drowning him in gifts. It doesn't sound like it. Because you said money was tight, like the nice gift you gave him was a handmade gift, which does sound like you spent a lot of time on it. It sounds sweet. I thought my cat just touched my foot. Yeah. He said he needed space. it really doesn't seem like you were drowning him in affection. Because, I mean, you weren't like, you're not good with words of affirmation. So you weren't like constantly telling him that you loved him. It doesn't sound like that. And then when you backed off, he broke up with you because he wasn't getting enough attention. This really just sounds like either a mismatch in communication style, personalities, or love languages. Like you weren't giving him enough attention in the way that he needs to receive attention. That's a really hard gap to bridge when two people have different love languages, and it can absolutely be done. Absolutely. And I really don't think it is that hard to do. But it's a really difficult situation to be in when your natural love language is A and B, and his natural love language is X and Y. Because that's when it takes work for you to learn how to show affection in the way that your partner receives affection, and how to appreciate the affection that they're giving you in their love language that's not necessarily your love language, because it's what comes naturally to them. I guess for some people it's really hard to wrap your head around that. But yeah, not the asshole. I mean, I hate it for you because it is a messy situation, and it sounds like you're probably going to have to find a whole new friend group now because of this breakup. But you absolutely can find new friends. I would just be more careful in the future to not date someone from within the friend group, if you can help it. I know you can't always help who you love, but worth a try dating outside of your friend pool. Okay. Story number 3 is coming to us from r/Redditor updates. The title is Second Update, AITA for rejecting someone because they have bipolar disorder. Let me see. Okay, so it starts off. Hi everyone, for those that are new to my story and don't know what I'm talking about, here are my previous posts that I posted. And so they link to posts 1 and 2 within this update post that I have saved. So before we read this update, cut that. So before we read this update, I'm going to go ahead and click the links within to post 1 and then post 2, and we're just going to read it all together as story free for us. I might give my take along the way for like the 3 different links I'm going to click on. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so clicking over to post 1 so we can read it in order. Post 1 was posted on r/AITH. AITA for rejecting someone because they have bipolar disorder. And this one is tagged hypothetical, which based on the number of posts and updates, I'm immediately not believing that it's hypothetical. To make a long story short, I, 22 female, and Ian, 21 male, were friends since we were kids. After middle school, we sadly drifted apart because we went to different high schools. 4 years later, when we graduated, we reunited because sadly his mother died and I was informed about this. It was at a funeral that we reconnected, and after that, we started to hang out again regularly. One day, though, his dad, 51 male, pulled me aside and told me that Ian started to have feelings for me. He also did give me a warning that he was also diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I told him thanks for the heads up, and we left it at that. A day later, Ian texted me and asked me if I could be his girlfriend. I haven't responded back to him yet because honestly, and this might sound effed up and I apologize if I offended anyone, I am afraid of people who have BPD. My brother, 25 male, has it, and enough though I love him so much and would do anything for him, he scares me from time to time. So please be honest with me. AITA if I reject him because he has BPD? If I am, and if I do give him a chance, how would you guys deal with a partner who has BPD? Ooh, this is already interesting because in my head when I saw BPD, I was reading bipolar disorder, but it is not that. It's borderline personality, and that is so different. Ooh, what do I think? I was really relieved as I read further into the story to see you're not just like typecasting people with this disorder. You actually have experience with your brother, someone close in your life who has it, and that's why you have this perspective. Having that background makes it make sense to me, because immediately it just sounds like, you're not willing to give him a chance because he has like this disorder that has a really strong stigma around it. and just kind of sounds judgmental. But because your brother has it and you love him despite it, but you've seen a scary side, it makes sense. I feel like that's twofold, because if you do reject him, I don't necessarily know if you're rejecting him because of his BPD, because you're not even giving him a chance to see the different personalities. It's more you're rejecting him to protect yourself because you already know what could be. But also, if his dad hadn't told you, you wouldn't be here right now asking. So I'm not judging yet. Okay, that was post 1. Now we're going to click over to post 2. Post 2 was posted on r/AITAH. Update: AITAH for rejecting someone because they have BPD. Still tagged hypothetical. Hi everyone, I just want to say thank you all so much for responses on my last post. For the person that are now just popping in, here's a link to my first post for anyone who's missed it. Really appreciate that this Redditor is linking back in all of his updates. That's really helpful. So they gave the link then. Now, before I get to the update, I want to address some common questions and concerns people had for me. 1, does Ian really have BPD, and is his dad lying about it? Honestly, I'm not 100% sure, as me and him only reconnected not that long ago. I never once considered that Dad could be lying for some reason. 2, does Ian's dad dislike me? Absolutely not. When me and Ian went to school together, I would spend time in his place after school when my parents were at work. Plus, he has never made any creepy advances towards me, although I do somewhat understand where some of you guys are coming from. Anyways, on to the update. I texted him back apologizing to him for leaving him on red, and I told him that I would much rather prefer to have this conversation with him face to face about his confession to me. He agreed to this. He told his dad, Keith, and he texted me on Facebook Messenger. We've been Facebook friends for a while, and he invited me out to lunch with them next weekend. So expect an update from me next weekend, I guess, lol. But the update will be on my main profile because this subreddit only allows one update. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me or DM me. Thanks, guys. Okay, so here we are to the initial post that I had saved, the one that's going to be linked in the description box for you guys. To make a long story very short, I saw Ian at the store and we had a nice but quick conversation. Here's how our conversation went. Me: oh, hi Ian, what's up? Ian: oh, hey Maddie, I'm doing good, how are you? Me: I'm good, thank you. Hey, can I ask you a question, please? And please don't take offense to this at all, as I'm not trying to stir up any drama. Ian: of course, what's up? Me: just straight to the point here. Me: do you have BPD? Your dad told me the other day, and I didn't know if I should have believed him or not since it's been so long since we last hung out with each other. Ian: yes, I do. I had my dad tell you because I didn't want to scare you off by me telling you it myself. But you created so much more confusion. Me: I understand. So are we still on for this weekend? Ian: yes, we are. Me: okay. And one more question quick. Is your relationship with your dad okay? I don't want to make things awkward because of me. Ian: our relationship has been good, and you are not a bother at all. See you this weekend? Me: see you this weekend. So yeah, turns out Ian does have BPD. As for their relationship with Ian and his dad, it seems to be fine. Anyways, I will definitely come back with a final update on Saturday night or Sunday morning to determine our status. And this is this was 25 days ago, so I have to go to OP's profile and see. Okay, here is a post from 21 days ago, and I'll try to link this one for you guys too. Third update: AITA for rejecting someone because they have BPD. Hey everyone, I just want to thank every single one of you guys for your thoughts and opinions. Even to the people who told me that I was the asshole. Yesterday when I was hanging out with Ian, we honestly had a good time together. We had lunch and then went back to his place afterwards. When it was just me and him alone, I finally had that conversation with him about if I want to be in a relationship with him. Sorry to disappoint some of you guys, but I rejected him. I kind of did, but not because of him having BPD. I was honestly with him and told him while I care for him deeply. I wasn't ready because as adults, we both are. I'd rather be friends with him for a little while longer to get to know him better before I jump into a relationship with him. Surprisingly, he took it very well. He apologized to me for asking me to automatically jump into a relationship with him. He admitted to me that he has some insecurities that he's working on in therapy, along with him coping about his mother's death. And that while he told me that he loves me, he needs to work on himself. He asked me if I stayed close to him and after some time in therapy if we could try a relationship. I agreed with all this. So that's that. This will be my final update. If we do end up together in the future, I will make another update post. I want to thank all of you guys so much for the support. If you guys have any questions for me that I forgot to add in this post, still feel free to ask me or DM. Thank you all once again for the support. Much love to you all. I really like where that went. I like that because you asked him the questions, you didn't just jump to a decision. You had a conversation, and I really like what you guys mutually came up with. Like, hey, we haven't been friends for long enough. I don't really know you well enough yet. Let's not rush into anything. Let's just be friends to get to know each other. That was your perspective. And then he's also like, that's a great idea. I'm working on some things right now in therapy. I want to work on myself, and then I'll be better in a relationship in the future. I love it. You guys are keeping yourselves open to any possibilities, but still exploring, if anything could be with you guys. I like that. I really like the way this went. Right, wrong, or mess. What to call this one? I don't want to call it a mess because it had such a good ending. And you didn't reject him really because you had BPD. You rejected him because you didn't know him well enough yet. I'm not going to give a judgment on this one. It is what it is. Yeah. Okay. Time for one more, I think. Maybe two, depends on how long it is. It's a short one. Story number 4 is coming to us from r/neighbors from hell. Upstairs neighbor threatened our property on first interaction. This one is labeled, what would you do, vent/rant. TLDR, upstairs neighbor threatened to smash our windows in when asked to turn music down. So my 27 male and partner, 27 female, are living in a flat that for the last 2 months has been unoccupied. However, past Thursday, we noticed people moving above. Floors are quite thin, which was totally fine as our floorboards are also squeaky. However, they also started blaring music, which was coming straight through the floors and lasted until 10:30 p.m. Not wanting to be those neighbors, we left things for the weekend to let them settle in. At about 7:30 today, it starts up again, and as we work from home, we thought we'd finally knock the door, introduce ourselves, and let them know how thin the floors are. He doesn't open the door. Instead, he tells me I'm being filmed and put up on YouTube. He refuses to turn the music down because he can hear our noise and threatened to smash our windows if I go to the police. Considering this was his behavior at the beginning, I only see it escalating. What can we do? Well, that did escalate immediately. And I already saw the first comment because it was such a short post, and I agree with it entirely. The first comment says, you should call and report it to the landlord. Then you should call the non-emergency line and file a report. Then you should get yourself cameras all around your flat. They covered everything in that comment. That is it. Yeah. I mean, you tried to just be neighborly, to not get officials involved. They were very, very not neighborly. So yeah, report it to the landlord. Let them deal with it as they should. Report it to the police because you were threatened, and get cameras so you have proof in the event he does follow through on his threats. Because, I mean, you've never actually met this person, so you have no idea what they're actually capable of, and if it was just empty words or if they really meant it. OP replied to that first comment and said, yeah, we're trying to get ahead of this so it doesn't escalate, so I've been collecting evidence. Thinking cameras are the way to go based on everyone's responses. Thank you. Very good. I mean, that one wasn't really a right wrong thing either, so I can't have my nice little, nope, it's on this side. I can't have my nice little judgment thing over here. That's okay. Story number 5 is coming to us from r/WIBTA_AITA. AITA for telling my mom she can't move in with us, even for a little while after she got divorced. I'm male 30 and my fiance, female 29, and I bought a small house last year. We're not rich, it's just a basic place with a tiny yard, but it felt like we finally got our footing. My mom, female 56, recently finalized her divorce from my stepdad. It was ugly, lots of crying phone calls, lots of I gave him my best years. I tried to be supportive without getting pulled into the middle, because she has a history of turning every crisis into a permanent situation. She's very religious, very family is everything, and also very good at making her wants sound like moral obligations. Got something in my eye tonight. Last week, she called me and said she can't afford her apartment anymore because the rent went up and she needs to regroup. Then she hit me with a line I knew was coming. I'll just stay with you two for a bit until I'm stable. She said it like it was already decided. I asked what a bit means. She said, oh, don't be dramatic, just a few months. A few months is already more than a bit in my book. I asked where she'd sleep. She said the guest room, and then started talking about what furniture she'd bring, like she was planning a move-in day. I told her we can help her look for a smaller place or a roommate situation with a friend from her church. She got quiet and said, I'm your mother. I shouldn't have to beg. Here's the context that makes me feel both guilty and also 100% sure. When I was 22, I let her stay with me after she had a fight with a boyfriend. It was supposed to be 2 weeks. It became 4 months. She criticized my cooking, my cleaning, my friends, and she kept leaving little devotional books on my desk like passive-aggressive landmines. She also had this habit of just asking questions that were really accusations. Why does your girlfriend dress like that? Do you think you'll ever be a real man if you let a woman run your home? When I finally told her she had to go, she cried and told the whole family I kicked her out. My aunt didn't talk to me for a year. So yeah, I'm not doing that again. Especially not now that I'm building a life with someone I actually want peace with. My fiance is kind, but she's a fixer. When my mom called her directly after I said no, my fiance listened and then told me, maybe we could do a strict timeline. It's your mom. I said no, because timelines don't work with my mother. She treats them like suggestions, and then you're the villain when you enforce them. My mom then started texting me Bible verses about honoring your parents. One message literally said, a good son would not let his mother struggle. That one made me see red. I replied that I'm not abandoning her. I'm saying she can't live with us, and I'll help her in other ways. She responded, so your wife comes first now. I said yes, because that's the point of getting married. She told me I'm choosing a woman over family, and that she prayed I would never turn out like this. Now my fiance feels caught in the middle, and she's worried I'm being too harsh because my mom is going through it. I feel like I'm being forced to choose between my future marriage and a person who will happily swallow my whole life if I let her. AITH for holding this boundary, even if it makes my mom's situation harder in the short term? No. OP, I am so proud of you. You are so right. I'm so glad that you have not given in to her manipulation tactics. So proud of you. You also should more be seeing red than for just that, because now she's trying to manipulate your fiance. She's taking advantage of the fact that she knows your fiance is a fixer, and she's basically pulled your fiance to her side. So now you could be the bad guy in both their eyes, your mom and your fiance, which is horrible. I think you're right. You've already done this before. You've helped her. The timeline didn't work, and the fact that she just acted like it was a given that she'd be able to move in with you for a few months, that she was already planning like what furniture she was going to bring. She decided what this was going to be and what it was going to look like before she ever got on the phone with you. That's bad. And I mean, you can call her a hypocrite because she's like, oh, where's the one about letting a woman run your home? Do you think you'll ever be a real man if you let a woman run your home? What would it be if you let her move in? She is trying to run your home. She's a woman. Listen to yourself. You are right. Do not give in Do not let your fiance give in. Just, maybe have a sit down with your fiance and explain, look, I know you want to help her. I am happy to help her, just not like this. We can't let this happen because I have known her for my whole life. I know what she is like. I know what she does. She will not respect the timeline. We'll be the villains. Honestly, you will probably be less the villains if you just say no in the first place than if you let her move in and then later on kick her out. Yeah. Good job, OP. Stick to your guns. Okay, that is 5 stories for this week's episode of Was I in the Wrong? Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Misty Morrison podcast. And remember, kindness changes everything. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.